What's going on, everybody? I want to talk about this specific mental dilemma that we have here that I see meme up and pop up a lot. And it is this scourge. It is the single greatest enemy to the intelligent man, to the wisdom. I can't stand this. It's so silly. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to be have their say. They could be completely oblivious to something and still want they want to be special. It's this gender thing. It boils really into that whole idea that now there's people want to have 6,000 genders because they want to have their own special little tag and flag for what they are, so they identify themselves with whatever seeming they want an individuality, yet they're only subscribing to another amorphous resonation of what the Matrix is subscribing to them to do. This whole thing with this 6ix9ine thing here, it's so belligerent. Go find the person that wrote that. Who put that there? Is it a 6 or a 9? It's not both. It's certainly not both. It's like walking over and looking at a duck and swearing that it's a pickup truck. It's delusional. It's confusing. This is the weak, silly, childish methodology of playing with semantics and syntax, and we've played these games for years, all of us, and it's so low level on the scale of how conscious are you. We can look at things and know exactly what it is. You're not confusing a strawberry for a leprechaun. It's not going to happen. If somebody wants to look at this 9 and go, well, no, my experiences tell me it's different. Yeah, we get the games. We get how this works. Everybody has their own view of things, and you can definitely transmute and use a chair as a table if you sit down at it, and you can be fun and creative. This is not the issue. The issue is people want to hang out behind this fallacious argument that there is somehow, well, everybody's right. Everything is exactly what anybody wants it to be. And yes, we do live in a very fluid universe, and things can be altered and changed. But as things sit, you're not changing that tree into something else in the immediacy of, like, it is not. It's a tree. That's all there is to it. And so, what this suggests here is that two people these are for people that want to argue. This is I want to argue, but I want to be right. But you can argue, but we'll agree to disagree. And that's so low level and basic. That's so childish. So if you go and find the person that put that symbol on the ground, you'll find out what it is. It's just like you want to go and look at a giant tomb, a pyramid. You look at an obelisk. And there was certainly what it is. There was a meaning to it. There's a meaning to the craft of whatever somebody designs and builds. There's what it is, whatever image it might be. And because we might not know what it is. So in this case, they don't know if it's a 6 or 9. So they just go, no, we'll just forget about it. No, my experience tells me it's something different, and yours means that. But that is sitting there because someone put it there, and that person that put it there did it with an intention, just like whatever was put here as the organic world, and whatever's put in front of us as art or giant buildings. You're not gonna walk into a building and be like, no, this is a snowshoe. Like, of course it's not. This is right. This whole thing, this concept here is such a slippery slope down into just a world of utter confusion for everyone. It's very weak mentalism. You have to play in your mind back and forth and play the game where you take all sides of all arguments, and you can really do a number on adjusting your consciousness and making your mind and your capacity for empathy grow. But to think that this meme has any validity for how you should approach life and how you should approach what you come across, and think that you can just, no, it's not that. So what else do we want to talk about here today, besides fallacious, mind-numbing arguments like this? Let's talk about feasting and fasting, because a couple people asked me about this, about doing a fast with them again, and because of my Geministic nature, I tend to do that anyways. And most of my life is, I like the idea of feasting and fasting. A lot of people say, you feast or you famine, and there's no famine happening. In this world, there's no famine. It's just cleansing. It's just, when you fasted, it becomes a lot different, the way that you view energy and the way you view food, as in meaning what you're taking in through your eyes, your ears, your mouth, and especially what you're putting in your mouth. And you have a new energetic subtlety that you can feel, that is generated from you and to you. And there's a lot of the idea of people that have of fasting that I think just by changing their mindset of what it is, it can really help them explore what not consuming is, and what part of life that is, because it should be a huge part. So I'm down here in New Orleans right now, and it's about to be Mardi Gras. So it'd be a very tough challenge to fast right now, because there's going to be 2 weeks of just awesomeness going on. So, yeah, I'm happy to, in the near future, fast with some people if you want. And it's just so, again, let's get a little farther into this feasting and fasting. It's so whenever you do consume something, you're consuming the wholeness of it. If when you haven't fasted and you're eating and you're consuming and you eat a lot of something, you're eating a lot of something good, but getting a small amount of energy in return, a small amount of experience in return. But after you've fasted and your body is at a cleaner state where you can digest information, digest everything, you're going to get a lot more out of a lot less. This has to get into why the whole goal, and people get into this task of going back and becoming breatharians. A lot of people say, "Oh, that's ridiculous. It's impossible," but I don't think it is. You start, the things you start consuming just by observing them differently, and knowing that your body does photosynthesis anyways, and that the sun is actually the conveyor of the information and the nutrition and the energy. And it's just a matter of cleansing your portals so that you can take in information from there, and actually you're getting a lot higher knowledge, a lot higher information and energy from that. But as we're feasting and fasting, what we're doing is we're going through gradients of cleansing our body so that we're able to use a fuel in a different way. I just watched a couple of videos about, somebody was talking about what their diet was like, and people have asked me before what my diet is like, and I don't think my diet should be, or you'd want it to be, anything like mine. Everybody is at a different stage in where they should be, and what they can consume, and what the capacity for their body to transmute whatever substance they put in. So this person was talking, it was Sunfruit Dan, he was talking about when, sometimes he's traveling and he'll eat cooked food, he'll eat things that are not normally, considered healthy. And depending on where you are in your path, the transmuting of that food, that gross physical substance, into what is an energetic principle for your body, it's much easier. And it's less damaging. Whereas someone that is already in a very unhealthy state, their capacity to intake information through their portals, that means they need more food, and even bad food is bad, and good food doesn't even identify itself with the body. But somebody that is in a pretty healthy state, their body can actually extract the small amounts of vital information out of the food, whatever it might be, even if it was something as even getting into this, whatever we'd consider toxic and poisonous, the body would be able to transmute that. to turn that into its essential source of the atomic structure and reorganize it in your body. You can take the thing that you don't even consider food and turn it into your human body. So this fasting and this feasting, if you haven't fasted before, it's highly suggested to start doing that on, I would suggest to people, juices is the way to go. For me, I jumped in and did a 40-day water fast because that's just my personality, and that's what that resonated with me. I'd done the research for a very long time. I had done a few short fasts on other things, but I just jumped in and did it. Do I think most people could or should do that? I don't know. It's just, that's your lifestyle. It depends on what you're doing. But surely, just the knowledge, it's not looking into calories, it's not looking into proteins and all of this. It's just a matter of cleaning your body out. Most people have to do that. It's the most basic thing, is the cleanliness of your internal system, so that you're able to get the energy from whatever it is you consume. There's so many people that go on this vegan diet or this vegetarian diet, or they start trying to get healthy and taking all these herbs and all of these supplements, but it's going to do absolutely nothing for them because their body doesn't know how to handle the information. It doesn't know how to work with it. And on top of it, it's clogged up. That's the most important part, is if your bowels are clogged up, you could literally shit out what you put in your mouth without it ever having gotten to your bloodstream. Like without really having, accepted the entirety of the food. Just think about, passing corn or passing nuts. That's the process and what it's supposed to be used for. But there's all sorts of things that you can put in your body that you would pass right through you, and you're not even getting any of the whatever its value is. So there's people that find themselves like, oh, vegetarian diets don't work and this doesn't work. Well, it's not going to work if you come off of a diet where you were consuming rotten flesh, and it's sitting in your system decaying and it's putrefying, and it's going through that, and it's all clogged up in there because you've eaten all this flour and this all of these different substances that are just literally getting distributed back in your bloodstream, and you're not taking in any new information and energy. So it's a matter of cleansing all of that first, blowing out the organs, meaning if you've bile clogged up in your gallbladder, if you have a liver that's all just full of junk, and you have to clean it out, or else it's not going to process everything, and you're not going to be able to understand. Your body won't be able to understand or even literally understand the information, because it won't be able to get to where it needs to go in the body. So everybody is highly suggested to cleanse the bowels, and then do, as I always suggest, distilled water is by far and away the best way to go. I would say urine, but most people don't have it in their capacity to even start that. So, distilled water, fruit juice if you can't handle the idea of just going, you can't mentally conceive of living without a caloric intake, then you should probably fruit juice fast. And then, even if it's consuming the roughage, the vegetables that are fiber rich, so you can start cleaning out your bowels first, because that's the first thing you need to clean. So, feasting, fasting. Oh, and a couple people had asked about meeting me, or if I did classes, and this is just an open invite to anybody that ever wants to. I live in New Orleans. You'd have a place to stay. You come down and meet me. We can go out and you can pick my brain. Ask me anything you want. Go have some drinks, go party, meditate, sit in the field, who knows. And yeah, so if anybody ever wants to, feel free, hit me up. I'm here. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Chat soon.